Hi folks, Artie Party here. What to do on a nice stormy Sunday afternoon in beautiful Berkeley, Australia. Going to do some ballasting. I'm going to show you guys how I do my ballasting and get it all ready for the glowing, which I may do sometime today using my little ballasting tool. It's what I used on the previous section of my layout. I bought this little fancy contraption. It's meant to go behind the train, but I'm still yet to set the train up to pull it. It's got gates in here to control the flow. As you see, the arrows here acts as a plough plus a direction of travel. So I'll place that here on the track. I'll make sure the gate's closed. I forgot my little brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the ballast down now and glue it down and give it a couple of days for it to dry. Okay, I'm missing something. Now, I'm going to do this in a combination of colours. Bit of grey and buff. So it brings up a reasonably good effect with the two colours. That is pretty good. Take this out really good. That's my little trusty knife when I want it. Okay. Hey Kyle, how you doing? I'm not next to the thing, so you guys can talk behind my back when I'm not watching. Gonna do some ballasting. Lay it all down. I'm making a little bit of progress here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of this in here. A little bit of bark. Oop. Bit of an overspill, but that doesn't matter. Mix it up a little bit. Just breaks it up a bit of a tone of a light grey. Make it look like she's already kind of been used and just been worked on. All right. So here we go. So it's not coming down too good. fix that up. The brush will fix most of that up. There might be a bit of a clogging issue there. Okay. Yeah, I think there is. There is a bit of a clogging issue on the other side, but never fear. Yep. So now I'm just gonna put the brush, creates a reasonably good bank. So who else have I got on? Let me have a look. I can't see the chat, so hey Rick, how you doing, buddy? You guys just kept talking behind my back. I've got the computer behind my back at the moment, so just go around tapping it like this. Gets a lot of the ballast to fall into its place in the crack. Some parts it won't. That's alright, we can fix that up. Now, you guys might hear some sound effects coming from, it sounds like thunder. That's not me passing when we're getting another thunderstorm in our area. We've been predicting it today, so Sydney was mostly supposed to cop it, but yeah, we got it here. Nothing a bit better to do than do some ballast, and I was going to screen some dirt today for my road, but it's just going to be too wet outside. And there we go, that's that part done. Tap it around. As you can see, tapping the rails down, it's actually vibrates the ballast down into place. Okay, now I'm going to do this part of the main. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so I'm going to do the main first. That's pretty much the going to be the light colour. And then when I go bring it into the siding, I'm going to use a darker colour. So, hey Mystic, how are you? I'll tell you what I'll do. I don't know if anyone else is there, but I'll send you guys an invite. If any of you guys want to join in on the chat. especially now that I can't see what you guys are talking about behind my back. More than welcome to come in and join in. So now I'm going to do the same here again. I'm going to just put a little bit of light grey. Put this on the side somewhere. There. It's probably going to block the view. I'll put it there. Okay. A little bit of buff. I'm going to change this big light bulb, I think, and get myself a bit more light here. And then going to blend a bit of the colours together. There's no real accurate measurement, so. What hair? Don't worry about it. Look at us. We haven't had a haircut. Some of us haven't had a haircut since the end of May. Can't wait till Tuesday. I'm going to go and have a fight with the barber. Okay, so. Right, somehow it seems to favour more one side than the other. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it does seem to favour one side more than the other. No, fix that. There's a bit of a here we go. Might help if I put it on the track properly, Simple as that. It needs a little bit more. I'll just do a layer of light grey over this side. A bit of light grey over the top. I see what I'm doing wrong. Haven't got it down. Got down to the bottom. It's got an adjustment on it. Favourite part, the switch. Okay. I'm just going to run it back the other way. This contraption has been, as I said, the sun is what it's saying, it's actually favouring more to one side than the other. There we go. It's not going to be all go to waste, so just tidy this up. then I'll just tap the rails. See, but it's got a bit more than what I want. That's alright. I'll just take it into the end bit here. That's the end stop anyway, so take over run the brush over it just a little bit. Take the ballast out from inside the rails more than anything. And I'll just have a look and see if anyone else has joined up. Hey Steve, how you going? Yeah, I'm just slowly going to get there, and thought you guys might want to see how I doing my ballasting. There's not much on TV and whatnot, so and the weather down here at the moment is not the best. So he needs a little bit, so simple as that. Nothing goes to waste in this house, in this layout, and in this area. It's all coming together nicely here. Put some of this in between. It's the part of ballasting I think everybody hates, which is the switch. The switch area. Where's my? Oh, no, it's just. Yeah. Now, before this morning when I woke up, what I did do is I painted the rails this morning. Give it a bit of that rust finish. I'm not going to do this corner bit at the moment. That's going to a bit more fiddly. Just a smidgen more on the edge here. Balsa wood coming up in between here, between the blades. Just makes it a little bit just going to make things a little bit easier, especially later on when I go to put the glue down. needs, clean this up in here. Get my little screwdriver in there. I think the paint's still a little bit damp in there. Alright, I'm just gonna not too much because I'm going to start changing the colour as I'm going up this way. So just a bit more. Just want to try to blend. I'm trying to blend some of this together. Yeah. I'm going to make sure down here in the frog it's so nice and clean. It's one of the worst places for a train to derail is at the flog, as we all know it. Creates all sorts of shorts. So yeah, here we go. Down the tap. Okay, so that's that done. Let me just have a look and see who else is here. Okay. Hey, Rick. You want to join in, bud, and have a chit chat with us, bud? Because I'm not watching the screen as much, so the laptop's up behind me. So you're more than welcome to join in if you're decent. Here. But that's a hey, Mouse. How you doing? Right. So now I'm going to do the sorting. Sorting I'm going to do the sorting I'm going to do a different colour. Going to make it look so it doesn't get used as much, as we all know. So I'm not going to use the light grey on this. Yeah, I've got a bit of material here left for when I was doing these. Okay, I'm going to use a brown, fine brown on here, and I've got a bit of leftover material from when I did the engine shed. This is fine brown. And this one should be a different one. What's this one? Medium brown. Okay. Here we go, got it. Okay, get this one in. I might put a little bit of black in there. Darken it up a little bit. There we go. A little bit of a mix. So, there we go again. Isn't it great? And when you want it to work, it doesn't want to work. Now the flying. The same again. There's a little bit more here. Medium, a little bit medium. A little bit of fine. Bit more on the black. Mix it up in the middle of the hopper. Sometimes it needs a bit of persuasion. See, I'm just about got it all done now. One side, for some reason, has been a little stubborn to flow out. Right. Okay, that's pretty much laid it. I'll just tidy it up a bit now. Like so. Go around and give it a tap like so. And as you can see, it's all pretty much, it's slowly all tapping itself into place. Medium. A little bit down on the end here. Well, it helps if I use the right end, eh? And this end bit done. Like I said, I'm not going to get too fussy with the end here. Because a lot of this, at the end of the day, a lot of this is all going to get redone anyway. Or some of it. A lot of this track here is going to get cut when I add it on to next section. Hey, Spritlong. What I'm doing your favourite part, which is ballasting. You love doing ballasting, I know that, like everybody else does. I just about got it all laid down. I'm going to do an exposed spot here, but what I'm going to do is I've got a bit of this black soot in here. And, it's slowly coming together. You see, slowly but surely. I'm not an expert in ballasting, but not when it comes to model ballasting. When it comes to roofing, it's a different kettle of fish. A lot of times we do end up leaving a little bit of ballast on the ties, because in time, while that actually vibrates itself into place. So I'm just going to use my finger a little bit there, bring some of the excess up to the end of the track. Then I'll give it another quick tap. Because then when we're doing some of the, particularly in the steelworks, but a lot of coal lines that we've worked on, they always wanted us to leave a little bit extra ballast on the actual ties, because in time all that ballast vibrates itself into place. So, I mean, it's not going to be too crucial. I'm going to get it reasonably clean. As such. Another tap with the brush. As you can all see, it's all falling into place. I'll get my ashtray out of the way. Put down this side. And before I'm going to put the glue in, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean up around the frog and through the guides there on the switch, and I'll put the glue down. Here, the fun part. That's the part I don't like about this. Oh, okay, well, yeah, that'd be actually interesting. Well, if you like it, you can come down and give me a hand here, Spritlock. Yeah, you come down and I don't mind ballasting, but yeah, the part I hate about ballasting is ballasting at the switches. Because, as we all know, he just seems to, ballast always seems to get in a place where it shouldn't be getting into. Like here in between the guide. And inside the frog. But mind you, it doesn't help. It looks like as I painted this earlier, I think the paint was still a little bit damp. Yeah. But once it's all done, it's done, isn't it? And it's just going to give it that nice, it's going to have that nice finish to it. Okay, so that's all of that done. And we'll get another, here's my little brush. Ah. Still got the ballast up in this corner here. Actually, I'll be back in a minute. I'll go and get the dust brush. You always got to have the right tools in the right spot, eh? Okay, here we go. Just going to do quickly tidy it up a little bit. As we all know, this stuff goes everywhere. I'm just going to pile it up in the corner. Like so. Now, yes, I have left that spot. I'll do that another time. I'll try to get this edge here done reasonably well. There's supposed to be a station platform I'm going to put in here. Okay. Set some of this up. Okay, now it's time to mix the glue. Now, use a bit of detergent, a little bit of alcohol. Okay, so it's been set behind my back. What we use is a wetting, my wetting agent, I don't really wet it as much, but I've got myself a little brew. It's pretty much the same recipe as what you got, what you're talking about there, Sprit Rock. Well, what I actually do is, okay, I use a dab of alcohol, a little bit of detergent, a couple of drops of detergent. And I use what we got here, Aquadare, wood glue, or white glue if you want to call it. Now I'll put probably about this much glue on the bottom with the detergent and the alcohol. Then I fill the bottle up with water. And this recipe works pretty good. I don't have to fork out a fortune on, as you can see, here, I haven't used this one for a while. It glues the lid down pretty good, so I've got to open this up. It soaks in pretty well. It doesn't distort the ballasting too much. I don't have any eye droplets at the moment, so I've got to do this in the old-fashioned way before the days of eye droplets and that. So now what I do is I go in just let it drip down. And it will just soak in. Actually, I think this might need a bit of water. I'm just going to put a bit of water in this, I'll be back. I'm back. Right, there we go. Let's give it another try. Now this will soak in time. The only drawback of doing it this way, it takes about 2-3 days for it to dry. I'll just go like that. But there is an upside, which I found with one of the layouts when I stripped the track off, trying to salvage the track. It actually, when you put warm water on and let it soak, it actually gets the ballast off it in time. Doing demolition on the layout. And that just soaks in. Now, an old chap showed me this recipe. He's no longer with us. He's passed on now, but mind you, he did live a good life. And I just make sure plenty of glue in it. I also use this for scenery. I put in the spray bottle. And just put in the middle of the track, like so. And it goes pretty hard. I'm going to do the siding again. And so the gluing done. Simple as that. Now I'm just going to wash my hands, because what I want to do is, let's get here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go wash my hands, because I'm going to put some green. I haven't got the static applicator, but I'm going to put some greenery up on here. We'll see in a minute what I'm going to do. So just bear with me 1 minute, I'll be back. Just okay, let me get some more goodies up. Okay. Okay, I'm going to use some more little goodies on this. Put that bottle in the corner. Which is refined turf. I think that's, don't need the cinders ballast, you don't need that. Right. Put a bit of turf in there. A little bit there. And a little bit on this. A little bit down in this track here. I want more turf on this side here. Just going to act as work by memory of what it used to look like at the stock shed. Because we used to have the sheep and cattle trains come into my local siding. And there was a fair bit of bull dust and a bit of sheep dust on the grounds. So that's that. Yeah, what have I got here? Just a bit of scattered grass. Oh, I missed a spot. Where's my magic glue? A little bit of magic glue down here in this corner. There's a magic glue in the corner. Okay, I'm going to use a tiny bit of this here and there. little bit greenery on it. I want more on this crack here. Yeah. It's just going to look like a semi-used, more of an abandoned storage track, even though it's going to be having sheep on it. The effect that I'm going to get is going to be like a line that doesn't get used much. And as we all know, on lines where trains don't get used much, there's always grass and weeds growing over it. I need to get some more scenery stuff. I do have a big order coming through. All right. The way United States Postal Service is working, they're putting everything on the ship instead of sending on the plane. They're paid email rates, but they're still putting on the bloody ship. So I'm not happy there with them. Now I'm going to use some forest grass. It's actually not a bad colour, this. Just to darken it up. So I've got to say this Knock brand is pretty good. It gets a pretty good effect even without a steady grass applicator. I can get a reasonably good finish. Yeah, a bit more greenery around here. When there are, well, most of us do. When we finish, we usually go over it with a vacuum cleaner, and you'll bring up the loose fibres up. But what I do is I actually keep it. I actually keep the loose fibres. So when I'm doing abandoned line scenes like this, I can actually reuse the material instead of going out purchasing it. So this gives you got. There on your dot. I mean, it looks like she's flooded a little bit. But in due course, as you see where the trucks are, in this area here, that's the finish that I will get. More on the end here. Corner. So that's all done. As you can see, it doesn't take too long. Where's my brew? What did I do for my brew? Let's see what I did. Where it go? Here it is. I'm just going to go over this corner here again and make sure some of the fibres stick. Go over it again. Like so. Yeah, now I'm just going to leave that to dry. I'll just go and wash my hands and I'll come back and talk to you guys on screen. Just give me a sec. So, okay, I'm back. So as you can see, it's all done. Okay. Okay, where did everybody go? Hopefully you guys are all here still. Ah, he's got to play the real. Yeah, see, split lock. Yeah, let me swap the cameras. Okay. So anyway, you're still emails. Okay. So that's how I do my ballasting. Yeah, see, I'm ugly too. I need a haircut. Look. Sure, I'm getting one on Tuesday. The barber shops are opening up tomorrow, so I'll be alright. Yeah, so that's how I do my ballast, and that's going to be. I'm going to leave that for a couple of days to dry, especially with this cool weather that we're going to have again. And yeah, then I'm going to. What I'm working on here, let me show you. Come and join in if you want, Dave. I'll post you the link. You're more than welcome to come in, and I'll show you what I've been doing. Okay. I've been practicing for your layout to do the ballasting. Yeah. That's what I've been doing. Well, that white bit there, that looks like snow and ice and whatnot. Typical American look. Winter American look. I've done a little bit of ballasting to finish that corner off. And yeah, it looks a bit yuck at the moment, but once that brew of mine dries up, it's going to be pretty hard. I mean, yeah, Woodland Cynic's have got good stuff and whatnot, and I've tried in the past, but one of the old chaps showed me this recipe. It works just as good as what you can buy from Woodland Cynics and everyone else, so you save a lot of money. Where I'll get the big, you Americans call quartz. I'll get a big liter bottle, 2 liter bottle of wood glue that I showed you, what you guys in America call white glue. And it's a simple recipe. As I said, it only needs a little bit of. It's got a little bit of this also. It's got a little bit of alcohol in it. I've got a little bit of morning fresh lemon detergent in it. Oh, no. You don't want me to do the carpentry with you, Rick. No. Honestly, you don't want me to do carpentry work. I really stink at carpentry. My carpentry work's not really that good. Yeah, it's getting better, but I wish I was as good as my grandfather. He was a genius with work. Like, I don't know if any of you watched Rick's. Hey, Greg, I don't know if any of you guys seen Rick, the tree man's tree man was doing the table and looking at Jerry's work and working with all the tools. Brings me back memories of when I was a kid and watching my grandfather building big, heavy duty work tables and using very little nails, very little screws, just doing it the old-fashioned way. And that was an amazing bit of woodwork. I could never achieve a copy what he did. So, yeah, well, it looks like I think might have to do this live streaming now in the middle of a Sunday. It seems to be more of you guys here. And there's not really much else going on Saturday nights. So I think I might do it on that. I don't know what the rest of you guys think. Oh, here we go.
Hey!
Here we go. Everybody decides to show up when the work's all done.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear.
Oh, cool.
So you guys all show up when the work's done. Hope you brought the beers.
We're not stupid. But you do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah. Now you're just going to sit there. You're going to sit there and criticize what I've done wrong, aren't you?
It's nighttime here.
Well, it's not nighttime here yet. We're getting some storms coming through again, so.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's been thundering just before a live stream. I've got some shady gravel that I've got, or clay, that I'm sifting out and for my dirt road, and I'm going to send some over to Jason as well. It's been out dry, and I got it in before the rain comes. It just needs a little bit more drying up, and we're going to have a full house here. Well,
Greg's there. How you feeling, Greg?
Hey, Greg, how are you?
Why? You gonna let me in?
Yeah, you're in.
Sorry.
You're in.
How am I feeling? I'm pretty sore. I've just woken up. Yeah.
How's the holy man doing?
Sorry?
How's the holy man doing? Getting better?
Well, they're really sore actually.
Yeah, they're not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
just take it easy. You got no choice. You can't go very far.
No, I can't. I did a live stream earlier, and I came home, had a bit of a snooze, and here I am. Had some painkiller. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just thought I'll get this ballasting done. It's all out of the way now.
So I missed out.
Yeah, as I just said, you guys all show up after all the hard work's been done.
Well, you know how it is around here. I don't do any work on my railroad.
No,
I know that, but I'm glad that Jerry got you to do some work for a change. That was good. I like him.
Yeah.
I hope you made him dinner and lunch as well.
I now it's not only do I have John doing the work, now I got Jerry doing work for me too. I'm telling you, I should have been a supervisor.
No. Jerry's waking up to you. We've seen the story. We've seen your clips. He's actually got you working.
He's definitely catching on.
Oh yeah, it's good on to you. He watches your shows too. Yeah, no. I think it's going to come up pretty good. Let me just swap the camera. You see me putting it down, didn't you, Rick?
What's that?
Did you see me put the?
Yeah. I caught some of the beginning, and then my daughter had woken up. I had to walk away for a few minutes, but then I caught you putting the some of the grass down, and then you were gluing it just a few minutes ago. That's when I came back in.
Yeah, well, you used my little recipe that was shared by an old friend of ours that's passed away now. They used on the layout in the old club layout in Sydney. They didn't actually use alcohol back then. They just used a bit of common mix, a bit of detergent, just your plain normal washing detergent, and what you used was wood glue, the white glue, right?
Okay.
And as to the bottle, this is we got the Chevrolets blend. I don't know if you guys got this over there in the US.
No, I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, I never heard that one either.
Yeah, it's just a normal white wood glue.
Okay.
You probably pour something else. Now, the way we do it, so I'll just use this as an example. You only need a few little drops of washing detergent, about this much glue, and fill the rest up with water.
Oh, okay. Very
You
diluted.
can put a bit of alcohol in it too, just to help it all blood, and give it a good shake.
What are you? Sorry, you use that for what? Sorry, I missed that.
To do my ballasting.
Oh, right.
To do my ballasting. The only downside of it is it takes about 3 days for it to dry.
Yeah, it's really.
Yeah, because there's a lot of water in it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of water.
I use 50% and some ISO. I spray it with ISO first. I use 50%, and then I use just a couple of drops of dishwashing liquid.
Yeah, the reason why we make it watery, it's so it actually blends into the actual loose ballast that's underneath. You understand what I'm saying? It's just so it all soaks in, and in time it just hardens up. Yeah. I mean, you'll see it in a couple of days when it dries up. That's how it
the only thing you got to watch for is when it's that diluted, if you have to take something up on your layout and put, like, say if you got to replace a piece of track and put a new piece down, when you go and put something that diluted on the new piece, it's going to soften up everything else around it because it's just going to run. So just be careful of that.
Yeah, look, I've tried both ways, Rick, and I've gone all the way
I'm aware of that.
Acrid here.
It does soften up enough. I'm aware of that. I mean, and it does come into advantage down the track. Say, like one of the lads when I ripped it apart and I wanted something on the track, I was able to solve it because it does soften up.
Oh, Artie's locking
as
up.
you were saying, Rick.
Yeah, look, I've used mostly Acrid here and a little bit of dishwashing liquid, and 50-50 is better. It gets too hard if you have to pull it up. It goes rock hard, and it doesn't seem to be as flexible when trains run over it. It can be really difficult. So a diluted ballast is a lot better than just going full strength.
Yeah.
Sure.
And with us here, I mean, okay, we don't have the extreme coldness and heats, with expansion and contractions, like what
G'day,
you
Ron.
guys got over there. But when it gets hot, everything just expands so much.
Yeah,
If we do make it the same way that you guys do, it will just crack.
yeah,
We'll just keep cracking on it. So we got to allow a bit of expansion.
yeah.
Was it
I
last summer
remember
or
it does get pretty warm here.
I don't know if it was last summer or summer before. My place here in the shade. Actually, this was in the kitchen before I got the air conditioning. G'day, Ron.
G'day,
Actually,
Steve.
no, sorry,
87.
outside in the awning in the barbecue area. It was 115 degrees in the shade.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You have that.
Yeah, it's often that here too. Look, it was so hot last season. My strawberries, I've got bugger all backyard, right? Because I've downsized, and that's why I have my in scale. I have 3 meter wide backyard, 3 meter in depth, and 18 meters wide, right? And my strawberries fried.
Wow.
That's how hot it was. And they get water and they get mist spray on them. And the leaves just dried out. Gets that warm.
Sparky, go and get yourself some earplugs.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you?
Well, we say ladies.
Am I loud, Sparky? I was just working on my microphone just the other day with Heath. I'm hoping I'm not loud.
Am I too loud?
I'm just using the camera on the laptop and stuff.
I'm using my super duper mic.
I didn't know you were using it. I'm just sitting here. I was debating on going to bed.
Good morning. Why are you keeping me up?
I'm using a real microphone.
Oh, geez.
Oh, God. Here we go. Well, Sparky, look, it is going to be a Saturday morning.
Notice the brand name is an Australian one. It's one of the best mics you can get.
Mm-hmm.
It's used in broadcast all the time here.
There's another one that's complaining. Anthony Dodge is complaining.
Oh, Anthony.
Toledo. But, mind you, they are north of the border.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah, they're north of the boundary line, all of them. No, they're north of the West Virginian border.
Yeah. It's funny you said Holy Toledo. Toledo's about 100 miles from me, the actual city.
Is it?
Yeah, well, you're just in that little circle of we'll let you guys in.
Yeah.
How you going, Anthony? Yeah, I mean, what are you doing? What are you doing up this time of the night?
Yeah,
Mrs. must have kicked him out of bed.
Must have. He's normally asleep.
Yeah. And Sparky, he must have been kicked out of the doghouse.
Yeah. So, what time is it?
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean,
I got 11:34 Eastern time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 11:34. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 2:34 here in Sydney. It's 1:34 in Brisbane.
It's 4:34 a.m. in UK.
What time is that at your place, Greg?
Yeah, mine's the same as yours.
The same as Sydney?
Yeah.
Oh, so okay, so you're with us. It's only Queensland.
It's only Brisbane that doesn't. It's only Brisbane. They're the ones that don't do daylight saving.
Yeah, I think Ron's from up in Queensland way. Ron's up in Queensland way, so he's behind time. He's got to catch up.
Yep, they've got to catch up, and that's a real bug if you live on the border. That's so bizarre.
Hey, I tell you what, it was great when I was doing my trips to Brisbane in the truck. I didn't have to worry about running late because I always had that hour up my sleeve to get the load in on time. I always had 8 hours up my sleeve. But when I came back to Sydney, I ended up losing that. You're in Victoria. Oh, that's all right. Then you're still with us, Rod.
Yeah, I'm still with you. unlike the one that used to screw me up was Western Australia. When I used to fly across there, and it was 3 hours the difference. You know, you'd leave here at 6 a.m. in the morning, and you'd get there, and they'd go, "Oh, it's breakfast time." And that was really screwy. But yeah.
But one thing that used to mess me up with my job is with the logbooks when Queensland decided we're not going to daylight saving, and like Queensland's on the same coast as Sydney, or Brisbane's on the same coast. It'd be like all of us that have been in South Carolina, you, Rick, you, Dave, and if I'm there, we're all in the same time zone.
Yeah.
But here it's like,
in Toledo?
Dave, you're further up north of line-wise than Rick, aren't you? But it'd be like Heath, he'd be an hour behind us, right?
Yeah.
There's two time zones on the one coast.
Not on the east side, no.
No, not over there, but over here we've got two time zones.
Over there you are. Oh.
Yeah.
So we can go to the border of where Artie is and Queensland, and you step across the border and you've just gone an hour backwards. And yet they're in the same time zone. It's bizarre.
I am not going nowhere near Melbourne at the moment. I'm not going nowhere near Victoria, Sparky.
We know that. Sparky, we know how to travel more than 15 Ks from home, unless you've got a work permit.
Well, that's we can go back to normal. Well, some of us are double vaccinated.
You can have a haircut tomorrow. You can have a haircut tomorrow, lady.
No, I'm going to wait till Tuesday or Wednesday to get mine done because it'll be the mad rush tomorrow and Tuesday. But no, I'm not going down there. It's only probably there's not that many intelligent people down in Melbourne anymore. I mean, look at
thanks.
Well, let's put it this way. I'm not going. Hey, I said there's not many. I didn't mention any names, and I wasn't referring to you. I was actually referring to people like my family members down there.
Well, I was there. I was
close you guys
to
have
some
a
of your
half
family
time
members
zone
today, but anyway.
Yeah, no, we've got.
Sorry, I've forgotten. Where's Ron? Ron, where are you? If you're 3 hours from me, Mel's
in
only
Victoria.
about 20 minutes.
Ron's in Victoria.
He's west from you.
West. Oh, Western District.
Marlborough.
Yeah, Mel's is.
Oh,
Mulgrave.
Oh, that's not 3
only
hours.
That's
3 hours in peak hour. 3 hours in peak hour.
Yeah, well, mate. Well, what's peak hour? We don't have peak hour anymore. That's gone. Don't have any traffic much.
Yeah.
So I had to go to Dandenong to the hospital to get me holes drilled on Monday. And normally from here to Dandenong's like, 45 minutes in peak hour. 20 minutes. Because there was no traffic. I had to be at the hospital at 9 a.m. on a Monday morning.
It's coming
No
on
traffic. So.
No, it's all right. No, I've got doctor's appointments tomorrow, which is Monday my time. I've got my general doctor, and then I've got to go and see just a checkup tomorrow for my the surgeon done my left shoulder.
I think I've got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for the doctors this week.
They get me, yeah. But I'm happy that I can get my right hand done now. So
well,
that's happening in 24th. Yep. So I'm really pushing to get this new extension finished, and then I can actually sit back and enjoy it and be able to play trains and rearrange the room. So I'm not going to be doing much modelling.
Yep. Well,
Yeah,
at least
I
you're
reckon
not going to the
I
West.
reckon this is a good stream now. We've got a couple of Australians here and a couple of Americans here.
Yeah,
Yanks.
where's Kenneth? I need to meet Kenneth. Yeah, right, g'day. At least you're not in the Western Hospital where there's 17 ambulances waiting to get in.
Tough.
Unbelievable.
Sorry to say, tough. They've been told. They've been warned about all that, and people just saying, "Oh, no." Yeah, just say Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi.
Yeah.
Sparky's
Yeah,
really
well,
trying to stir something up
Yeah,
here.
you do have, if you're in the Western District, Ron, you have freedom. Unlike my daughter has freedom. She's 20 minutes from me, but she has freedom, but we don't. We're still
Yeah, but
locked
the
down.
funny thing is, yeah, they are reducing some of our restrictions tomorrow here, but I can't go and see Gary. I still cannot go up and see Creepy. And Creepy is only about half an hour, 40 minutes drive from my place.
Well,
Up the
you know
mountain.
what? Around
But because
Hampton Park today,
it's in a different area, is outside my LJ, I'll go and visit him
right.
until after the 18th.
Well, when I was in Hampton Park this morning, your stomping grounds, the cops were flying over checking. The helicopter was out.
You know what? I'm sorry to say, don't take any offence to anybody over there, but what they need to do with Hampton Park is put a bulldozer through it and start again. And that's with a lot of people from my family in there in the bulldozing, in the reconstruction. You know, they're having tea parties. Then they wonder why they're getting sick and everything else. And
oh, right. Well, Mel's, yeah, well, I'm not far from there. I'm actually on the opposite side of Pakenham, so Waverley Park is not far at all, unless
Waverley Park, that's where the old AFL stadium used to be, and you've got the Safeways up there too, which I've done.
You've got Waverley Gardens and
countless deliveries into the warehouse.
Yep.
Is that football ground still there, or have they subdivided that?
The football ground's still there, but only the main stand, and there's now where the car parks used to be is all houses.
Yeah.
So
I haven't been there down there. I avoid going down south of Wodonga or south of Albury, which is it's like going into Mexico, guys. When we go down to Melbourne, it's like going to Mexico. You really don't want to go down there because a large majority of them down there, apart from Greg and a couple, are very strange down there.
No, it's the New South Wales people. They're the strange ones. Actually, it's the Queenslanders who are really bizarre.
Oh, look, they're backwards. Look, they can't even get the number plates done right. Look, they got the numbers before the letters instead of the letters before the numbers.
Hey, it's the Western Australians. They think they're living on a different planet.
They are in a different planet over there. It looks like Mars.
Yeah, they're even out there. And you get blown away if you go to Fremantle. You don't go there about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You just get blown away. Fremantle Doctor. No. There's a wing called the Fremantle Doctor, and trust me, you have to hang on to the fence because it is that strong. I've actually come across the Fremantle Doctor. I had to hang on to the rails, and my legs were up in the air. It's that strong.
But that's like being down. That's the same as being down in St Kilda Pier. No different.
No, worse than Melbourne, worse than anywhere. The Fremantle Doctor, it is unbelievable.
Not when you get those big black clouds coming around. I'll tell you what, I've been through there. G'day, Randall. How are you, bud?
G'day, Randall.
Yeah.
Hey, Randall.
So for next Saturday night, I want all you guys to bring your power tools over to my place, and we'll do the next level, okay? Now, Rick's got all the timber experience, lumber work experience, has been taught by Jerry, so be able to knock a layout pretty quick.
Sorry, what was that? I was trying to read.
Rick, he's got timber experience now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep.
he can come over and help me knock
I
over
can
this
finally
top level off and
I can finally say I'm working for a living.
Yeah.
When I'm with Terry, it's all work.
Do you know how
I'm
nice that
technically, I'm
Rick, do you
working
know
now.
how
I'm on
nice that would be to work for a living? Oh,
That's a tough job. It's a
oh.
tough job.
I haven't been able to work for so long now. I don't even know what it would be like anymore.
I can't wait to get back to work. I really can't. But I'm gonna wait. I think I'll be back to work roughly about March.
Yeah.
Work for 2 months and then go to the US for a month and then come back home, work for another 2 months and then go back to the United States for another month and then come back home and for 2-3 weeks and go back to the United States for another month and then come back here and spend 3 months there in winter, American winter.
Mm.
So I don't have to put up with that white stuff that falls on the floor.
What's the white stuff? I don't know what white stuff is.
I think it's icing sugar, isn't it?
Oh, you don't know what you're missing. It's a grand old time.
Oh, I love the white
I've
stuff.
never seen it.
Rick, where you at?
I'm in Philly. Well, just outside of Philadelphia.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in obviously Ohio, so Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you get the white stuff
I've
too.
been. Oh yeah. I've been to Chicago in February. I know what the white stuff looks like.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Those Great Lakes, we like to kick that snow effect, lake effect up. We get a lot of it
There you
here.
go.
I spent, what was it, 97, 98, I spent
You've
the
got
whole
some
winter in
Viking
the United
smugglers.
States.
Just
What the
just
hell is
just
a
before the
budgie
just before the
smuggler? What the hell is
showstopper, I
that?
went from just before the showstopper. It was we had that heat wave here in December, and I left from here wearing shorts, went to Chicago where it was like 20 degrees, and the week after that flew out to Los Angeles where it was like 60, 70 degrees, and the third week came back home, and by then it was just before Christmas at that point, and it had gotten cold, and I was in shorts coming through the airport.
You know what, Rick? I never travel on a plane in shorts. I would never do that. I went from here, from sort of 90 degrees to Singapore, which was about the same, and then from Singapore to London, and it was -10.
Mm.
Wow.
And and I've traveled all over Australia, and I always travel in pants because you can't risk what you're going to find at the other end.
Normally, when we take a trip out to California, we usually like to come home taking what they call the red eye. It's when you get on the midnight flight. When you fly all the way back, it's a 6-hour flight, but with the time difference, you add 3 hours, you wind up getting home around 9 or 10 in the morning.
Yes.
Well, the problem is so when you get on the plane at midnight, they give you all the instructions, you do your safety checks, the ladies come around with the little beverage cart, and you get one drink, and after everybody's settled, they shut out the lights and you don't see anybody for 6 hours.
Yep.
Problem is they crank the heat up to keep everybody nice and comfortable. And meanwhile, I'm sitting on the damn plane going, I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Oh, see, they don't do that here, but
they do that so you can fall asleep.
You can take the red eye from here. So from Western Australia, I got stuck. I was in Western Australia and I got a chance to come home, and I was trying to find a flight, and I could have got the red eye. Now from Western Australia to Melbourne, you leave is like a 4-hour flight plus the 3 hours difference, right? But the red eye was 13-hour flight.
Wow.
Because you flew from Perth to Queensland and then from Queensland down, and it was just like, no, I'm not even bothering with that. It's just too hard. Some of the red eyes here can be really nightmarish, seriously nightmarish. See, for us to fly out of Australia, often it's 6 hours from where I am just to get out of Australia. And then from the end of Australia to Singapore is 2. But
Sparky said, I landed in Melbourne and my first words were, "You have palm trees and an accent from hell."
Do we? I didn't think our accent was that bad. We have a lot of gum trees, but
it takes a minute to get used to your accent. For me, it did.
It takes a while.
Artie's got a very thick accent.
Oh, okay. I didn't think we had much of an accent, but anyway.
Well, you can definitely tell there's a difference between yours and Artie's.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's just the geographical difference or just the different.
No, what it'll be is that my dad was English.
Oh,
right, and I grew up.
Artie was Hatch.
My dad had an accent, right? But when I go to England, I take on an English accent instantly. Not on purpose, not forced. I just hear it and I take off.
It's instinctive.
My dad never had an accent, so, and I've been told that I do have. I'm a little different. Yeah, I know that, but anyway. But I was actually standing in the middle of England waiting for a bus, and this lady came along, and I said to her, "Hello." So there's different accents, as you know, in England. And my dad came from Yorkshire, and they have a really broad accent. And I said to this lady in a Yorkshire accent, I said, "Eop, and she looked at me and went, "You're not from around here." And I kept talking to her and finally had to stop and say, "Yeah, love, I'm from Australia." And she almost fell over. She couldn't believe my accent. And yet you say that here to somebody and they go, "Oh, you haven't got much of an accent." But yeah, blew her away. Literally. So yeah, I guess that's my English background.
You want to know what a gum tree tastes like, Dave?
Oh, Sparky said they're awesome. I thought maybe they had a flavor to them.
They're good for you. I'll send you a pack. I'll send you some.
The box is getting bigger and bigger already.
I've got one of my cousin's husband. He went to India and he speaks 5 or 6 different languages and he finds them really easy to pick up. Some people do. Some people, you go to a place and you can pick up the accent. So yeah, I paid $2,000 for a cockatoo.
Nice cup.
Yeah, sorry.
See the sample I got for my cup?
Where's Shannon? Wouldn't he complete the group out?
Good on you.
Nice cup. I like that.
I've got a couple more samples coming.
I've got a hoodie and I've got a hoodie and a t-shirt that I have, but yeah, I haven't done much about that.
Yeah, I've got a couple more samples coming this week.
I like the cinnamon, Rick.
Where did you get them from?
Big Red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're still talking about gum trees over here. Juicy fruit.
Well, the red gum is your hardest. The red gum is your hardest wood. And they use them for the ties here. They're for the sweepers. I'm in West Australia, and I remember my stepdad talking about when they used to cut it all up with the saws and the axes and everything else, because he was a bit of a lumberjack there for a while, and they were doing the ties, and he says they were so hard, it was like breaking concrete.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Red gum is really.
But they last forever.
Yep.
Well, how do you chew it if it's that hard?
You don't.
You suck on it. You got to suck on it.
Yeah, it's naturally hard. Yeah.
I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, and we're talking about Rick here, have you ever seen wood split up? Have you ever seen a tree split up?
Yeah, we call that divorce.
No. The machine is absolutely huge. I work for a tree company, and it's like a crane in reverse, and it's a big long. And they come along and they drive it like a train on top of the log, right? So I'm talking about mountain ash, Victorian mountain ash, which has to be purchased, but that's another story. And they're like seriously wide, and they sit on top of it and they run across like a crane or a train across this long, and they must be, I don't know, 30 foot, 40 foot long trees. And they split them up, and they as I said, they run along and they go across in sections and cut it all up. And any debris goes to making pulp or wood chips or even dog food. Some of it goes into
Dog food.
Yeah, I was surprised about that too. I don't know why they use it in dog food, but they do get quite fine stuff off it. But to see this machine just chop it up, like, unbelievable.
Rick, great you shut up for a little bit. All that sawdust that Jerry's got from his woodwork, what does he do with it? Does he just throw it out or what?
Well, he throws it out. I just actually a while back I asked him to save me a little bit because I was doing some testing and I was trying out coloring it with acrylic paints and using it for ground cover.
Now, the reason
I've
why
done that. It works out pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, what a friend of mine did, I'll ask her the proper way how she did it, but what she done was she collected all the sawdust and threw it in some dye and just let the dye blend into the actual fibres. And then she grinded it up and crushed it up, and then she had her own fibres.
You gotta sift it though. You gotta sift all the bigger pieces out.
Mystic beer is not warm; it's cold. Has to be almost freezer cold.
Mm.
Beer,
Mystic, if you come over here,
good 34 degrees.
I'll show you a couple of pure blondes if you come over here. I'll show you a couple of pure blondes when you come over.
Oh yeah, pure blondes, all our beer is cold.
Yeah, blondes are overrated.
Other than Southwick, I think that's about the only one that's horrible. But yeah, our beer is cold because it's always warm, so it's not like England or lots of other places. Our beer is always cold. It's a coldie. Put a coldie in the fridge. Aussie beer's not that bad.
I got a friend of mine in Princeton. I took him a couple of pure blondes. He was struggling to get through the first one. He was legless after the first one. He was like, "Woo!" These are not your ordinary blondes, Dave. They're not your ordinary blondes.
They're talking about the same kind of blondes.
That Foster's is. Yeah, hang on. No, but hang on. Where they make it here in Melbourne is actually all solar powered. They've gone. The factory here in Melbourne has gone purely solar, so they don't use any normal electricity.
Carlton United up in Brisbane, the main factory now, has gone that way too.
Yeah, so Carlton United, yeah.
I don't know. I think you
reminded Rick that he had some beverages on ice. He went and got himself one.
Yeah, you guys made me thirsty.
Yeah, I'm getting thirsty too, but I'm not going out in the storm. I don't have any at home. I don't know. The only beer that I actually liked in the US was the Miller's beer.
Miller.
Yeah.
It's Miller time, baby.
Yeah, I haven't had any beer in the US.
Budweiser is. You can have your Budweiser.
That's horrible.
Budweiser.
Oh, I remember one time when we were down when I was living in LA, we went over to T1 to buy cheap American beer and brought it back. And I tell you what, it was like dishwashing liquid.
Hmm.
It was that foul.
No, Sparky, no, you don't. You do not use Vegemite like peanut butter. Vegemite is meant to be spread very, very lightly because it is very, very strong.
Says you, Greg. I'll make sure it's nice and thick to get that little. It gives you that.
I
kick in
know,
it.
but
What is
for
that
somebody, yeah, but for somebody who has never tasted it, they always put it on so thick,
Yeah.
and then they go, "Oh no, you just spread it thinly."
What is it? What is it exactly?
It's yeast.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
It's made from yeast, and the closest thing to a flavour to a Vegemite would be,
Marmite.
you know, yeah, it's multi-lot, but you know when you roast your beef and you get all that blood and the fat that's all congealed together, you know, when it goes all cold, it tastes very similar to that. If you have too much of it, it's foul. But if you have a little bit of it, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
I actually did it for my.
it's a bit more salty than that.
Yeah, it is a lot saltier.
It's a very unusual flavour.
It's an acquired taste.
Very much.
Acquired taste, yeah, I would assume, yeah.
Dark brown food spread made from leftover
It has to
burgers.
be German, Belgian, or Czech.
Hey, Southwest, there we are becoming an Aussie America. We've got another Aussie just joined us.
Southwest Modeler, g'day.
All right,
Yeah.
Dave.
Yeah.
According to Wikipedia, Vegemite is a thick, dark brown Australian fruit spread made from leftover brewer's yeast extract with various vegetable and spice additives.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you're not used to it, you have a. I'll tell you the best way to have it. If you never ate Vegemite, you just put a bit of margarine or butter on your bread. Spread a nice thin layer of it, and just smear it on, not too much.
Just
and put a bit of sliced cheese in it.
Not thick. Very
Don't
thin.
put it thick on it.
Yeah.
Because if you put it thick, as I said, it's an acquired taste. If you put it
like crap. Yeah, well.
Yeah, you'll go. Pugh. Just put it thinly and put it with a bit of cheese, and even a bit of tomato with it. And I tell you what, it will actually bring like a bit of a tang, a bit of a sweetness out of it.
Some people use it. No, but some people do actually use it on in meats and things like that because it gives it a bit of a flavour.
Yeah.
Like one of my mates, his favourite way of making roast, and his roast lambs are to die for. He uses Coke and Coca-Cola and red wine, and you cannot believe the taste. But sometimes just a bit of Vegemite in some of it can actually bring out flavour. But you just got to watch how much you use.
I used Vegemite when I was doing Brussels sprouts. As a stir fry.
I could see using it maybe as a seasoning type thing like that when you're cooking with it or something.
Yeah, you can cook with it. I've cooked with it before as well. I mean,
Foster's isn't that bad. Yeah, it isn't that great either. But
look, I'll tell you what, the Foster's is out. Steve, Foster's is an Australian reject beer.
Yeah, nobody
the
drink it here.
The only time Foster's tastes
Ron
great,
said it tastes like crap, and he's Aussie.
Yeah. The only time that the Foster's tastes good is when you spend 3-4 months in the United States and you've been drinking all that crappy beer in LA, right? And you crave for a good flavoured beer. And then when you see Foster's, it just smacks you in the face. It's like, that's beer. That's any time it tastes good.
Southwest Modeler says you could also use it for axle grease.
Yep.
Yeah, you could. You could. When you got nothing else. Yeah,
well, yes, you're right, Sparky.
Yeah.
The Great Ocean Road is stunning. It is one of the best drives you could ever have.
Yeah, that is. Even That was one of the best places in Victoria. I've got to say, is the Great Ocean Road. You got
I
the
actually
similar
learned to
fossils.
drive in the hills between the Great Ocean Road and inland. Right through there, I learned to drive in a 4-wheel drive, and that's that all round the Colac. Where are we?
Right, cheese factories,
Cape
yeah.
Otway Lighthouse. Right through that area, absolutely magic stuff, and that's where I learned to drive.
I learned to drive sideways in my area,
Yeah, well, that's what we used
going
to
up and
do.
down the mountain.
Yeah, well, that's what we did. We used to drive. What we used to do is we used to go out in our 4-wheel drives, and I was a part-time member. But even before I could drive, I went out with one of my cousins who lived down Colac Way, and we had a thing where one of the 4-wheel drive members was part of the forestry rangers, and because we had this relationship, we were allowed to go down roads that nobody else was allowed to go down. And we went to some fantastic places. And
We lost Dave.
we've lost Dave. But yeah,
Can
that's
I
where
read
I
that
learned
way,
to drive.
buddy?
Oh,
I'll tell you what. I hated Vegemite when I was a kid. I really hated it, and
yeah, too.
I didn't start eating Vegemite until I was about 13, 14, and I loved it then.
Oh,
Because I
here's
actually
one for
got
the Americans. Here's one for the Americans. I can feel the Forex coming on.
yeah, but
Not far from the Great
um,
Ocean. Oh, there he is.
Sorry about that.
Do
no,
what
you
happened?
know what Forex is? It's Queensland beer. So this
Yeah, I
doesn't
know.
show how. This shows you how good Queenslanders are for all you Americans. They don't even know how to spell beer. They have to use the 4 X's to spell beer. That's how bad they are up there. They don't know their
Yep.
letters.
Hey, if you go to Queensland and you ask for a hamburger, you actually get ham in your hamburger.
Oh, that's not right.
Something's wrong with that.
Well,
Well,
I've gone to places. I've gone to places in America and asked for a cheesesteak sandwich, and they give you a T-bone steak between 2 pieces of bread.
Huh. That's different.
Yeah, well,
That's not what I think of when I think of cheesesteak.
Yeah.
one makes me fart. Okay, enjoy
There
it.
you
So
go.
where did you get
Hey,
the
Rick, me
hamburger
too.
from?
Where's
Greg?
our
Sorry,
Greg, where did you buy that hamburger from?
Gold Coast.
Oh, well, Gold Coast is a different planet.
I know, but you know,
That's almost like being in Miami.
yeah, I know. Look,
It's almost
God.
like being in
it's just
Miami. It's a different
I
planet.
say it because it's funny, you know, like it's. But yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not far from the Great Ocean Road. Yeah, Great Ocean Road's lovely. All through the Otways is fantastic.
I remember my last visit we were down when I was over the US, and then you had these. Oh, the big thing that's going on at home was all this.
All right, Oak Dodge. Have a good night, bud.
Good night, buddy.
Okay.
We'll see you
Yeah,
next
Anthony,
week.
thanks for joining us.
Oh, still here. These are boutique beers and all that fancy flavors and everything else. And my nephew and I, we decided we'll go to the gas station, and I thought that beer looked all right. Let's give that a try. And I tell you what, no, I think I'll just stay with what I know now. It's the Millers is all right, and all these crafted beers you can have then.
Well, definitely the Great
right,
Ocean
so-
Road.
So we talked about beer. What do you guys have for liquor?
Too
What
expensive.
else?
Any-
Too expensive.
Too expensive?
Yeah.
We have some nice. We'll see. We have some of the nicest wines. Wine is is Australian wine can be really good. There's some very interesting wines that are around. Here in Yarra Valley, there's what's called a green, I can't call it champagne, but it's green bubbly. You get around the Rutherglen area, you get a wine that's orange, has an orange taste that's sweet. But, you get ports and you get all the normal stuff that you guys get. There's no different. The biggest difference is one of the things that I found is that one of the favourite drinks around here, or not that favourite, but one of the drinks that's reasonably favourite is called a lemon, lime and bitters. And you go to England and you ask for a lemon, lime and bitters and they look at you stupid, what's that? Yet they use bitters over there.
The only reason why they look at you stupid is because you're on the wrong side of the channel when you're in England. You've got to go to Central and Eastern Europe to get lemon, limes and bitters.
Yeah, I know, but they use bitters in their drinks anyway. There's lots of drinks that they use bitters, but they just don't know what a lemon, lime and bitters is.
Yeah. The most common spirits that we have here, apart from your normal American ones like your Jim Beam and Jack Daniels and whatnot, is the Bundaberg rum, which is made out of sugarcane distillery up in Queensland. That's probably the only decent thing that comes out of Queensland, and that's nice. And they are crafting that to add different flavours into it. And I tell you what, they've got some really nice flavours. And
Jim
I've
Beam,
got one I bought a duty free. I still have not seen it in the shelf. I think they had honey or something into it. It wasn't too sweet. It was just a real nice drop to it.
Yeah, but our
spirits are expensive. I mean, for your average bottle that over in the US, we spend what $20, $25. They're not nearly $65 here.
Oh,
that's a bottle of Jim Beam is nearly $75 here.
Yeah, $75, $80.
Wow,
it's very expensive here.
My packet of Powerball Blue, there's cigarette packets here. Packet of 20 here is nearly $30 a packet.
How much?
Okay.
Oh, Reed, I agree. I'll take a Jim Beam or a JD any day.
Yeah, well,
Jim Beam is all right.
We have that, but it is expensive. That's the best thing you can get in Australia is steak. And the best steak is King Island. You cannot find better steak anywhere in the world than King Island.
I don't know. The best steak I had was up at Canamble.
Nothing beats King Island.
This one was the best steak that I ever had.
Because
it was fresh off the farm.
It's pollution free. It's away from any source of anything other than sea. So it sits off Australia, the base of Australia. So it's between Australia and Antarctica, and the meat is well known. It's very, very expensive. Even in Australian standards, it's expensive, but it is some of the best, juiciest flavouring steak you will ever taste.
Wow.
Beats Wagyu any day.
Hey, Ron, is that packet of food, is that at the gas station prices or is that from the supermarket? But see here, I don't buy cigarettes from the gas station. I don't buy from the tobacconist because they're just too expensive.
Yeah, Mystic. A lot of people have. Alcohol's been going through the roof here.
Oh, they're just going to tax it. They're thinking that if they tax it, people are going to stop. People are going to stop drinking and stop smoking and everything else. Well, they're still going to do it. Hasn't stopped it.
Blacky's
Yeah,
pizza.
what did he find? What did he find?
Well, one of the things Melbourne is known for is coffee and Italian food, Greek food. I mean,
there's some real good Greek food down there.
We're very multicultural with our food here, but Melbourne is a foodie fruity and chocolate.
Well,
I
I
don't know-
enjoy.
I
I
don't
guess
know if
I'd
you
enjoy
still-
Melbourne then because of the coffee.
When
I
we're
don't-
not closed up.
I don't know if he's still there or not, but the best Greek food that I've had, and that's basically a takeout. I think you were able to eat there too. Was the Lambs in Logon Street,
Yeah.
and I tell you what, he was the best.
Let's do the Lygon Street limbo. Lygon Street's just, but it's all closed up. Nothing's open. Yeah, kangaroo meat's quite nice actually. It's very fat free, very tender. Not bad. We often used to get Skippy's balls in the supermarket.
Yeah, that's down in Melbourne, and we didn't get it up here. Down in Melbourne, so this is how strange they are down in Melbourne and Victoria. So they eat just about anything. There's a lot of Chinese down there too. That's why.
Yeah, right.
I worked
I don't know what the
out.
hell they're talking about, Rick.
I worked out.
I don't know. I was kind of just following
Some
chat for a
kangaroo
little bit.
balls
Skippy
and-
is
I don't know.
kangaroo. So when I
I ain't
grew
eating
up
no
as
balls,
a
I
kid,
don't
we
know.
used to have a TV show called Skippy. And Skippy was a very smart kangaroo who could tell you that there were robbers and people all over the place. But we often call kangaroo Skippy.
Yes, I did. When you guys have a bit of time, look it up. There might be something on YouTube where you can actually have
Look
some
at
old
Skippy,
programs
please.
of Skippy.
Look at Skippy.
Right. You'll even hear the term skip used in Crocodile Dundee in the original movie.
Yep.
It's like, oh God, look, Skip's got a gun. And they're actually referring to Skip is referred to as the kangaroo,
Gotcha.
right?
It was very
Skippy is a kangaroo.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, well, we call them hoppers too, but yeah, Skippy is our normal because that's what we relate to. Because when we were growing up, Skippy was a kangaroo, very smart kangaroo.
Hmm.
Not
Yeah.
really. But
He can fly a helicopter, he can fly a car, drive a car, he can operate a boat, he used to know how to do rock climbing and all sorts of stuff. I mean,
Yep.
it pretty much
But
puts Superman to shame almost.
oh yeah,
I'm a bit of a two-pot screamer.
two-pot screamer.
Yeah, well, no, I don't drink that much. I mean,
Pacific Highway. Yeah, right.
I can't afford not that mean financially. I can't afford to drink because over here our drinking rules and whatnot is completely different to what it is in the United States.
Yep.
Right. If I can drive out of my street, go around the corner, and we have the police there doing random breath testing and alcohol testing, and you can't say no to it.
No.
It takes 10 seconds. If I pick up you got alcohol in it and you're over the limit, there goes your license. Well, lose my license, I can't work because that's my bread and butter.
Yep.
You lose it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a good thing. With the drugs as well, if you get caught within the system, that takes about 10, 15 minutes. Usually within 5 minutes, it will actually start showing whether you got anything in your system. And it's the best thing out. My breath test, I mean, the longest part is stopping and starting, but 10 seconds and we're off. So
yeah, and
I got to be able to get over the US. Well, I know you don't have the random breathalyzer unless you go to Boston, Massachusetts, because I know they're doing it up there now.
Good night, Sparky.
Thanks, Sparky.
Nice, Sparky.
See you, bud.
But yeah, I just can't afford to get done. I'll go to the United States and have a couple of drinks, and it's like, yeah, I can maybe drive down the road because over there they've got to do the sobriety test to prove that you're drunk. But then again, I'll probably fail that too when they want me to say my ABCs backwards. I'll fail with the first word. I'll say Z instead of Z. So they'll be kicked right, I'll be up straight away. Yeah.
Mm.
So when's Sparky going down? When's Sparky going to Arizona?
I'm drinking
Next week, isn't it?
Oh, go
Next
for it, Mel.
week, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we'll have some. So we have some person quiet, or maybe not. Yeah.
He'll drag Uncle Vinny in with you, or cousin Vinny in.
Yeah, that's
with
why
him.
he's going to Vinny's, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll at least go visit him. I don't know if he's staying with him or not.
Yeah, I think he's staying with him for a bit.
No, I can't wait. I can't wait to get back over. I can't wait to get home. But at least this time I know through customs I can bring more. I can bring some more blondes with me this time. I got I got told by US Customs last time I can bring as many as I want. Yeah, last time I only bought 6. This time I can bring more, so I'll do
No,
that.
you can't. You won't be able to because there's a limit on how much liquid you can take.
Not when it's put in your not when it's put in your check-in luggage. You can.
No, they still check it. They go through it.
As long as you do the right thing. See, there is a secret to it. To me, it was a gift. It's not selling it. But as the chap turned around and said, "Yeah, I could have brought a little bit more, and they would have gone. See you later."
Okay. Well, yeah, they are pretty strict on some things, but yeah.
On some things they are. The things that they are really strict on is tobacco.
No, of perfume. Oh,
And definitely perfume is definitely.
yeah. Well, see, I when every time I go to England, I buy up perfume. It sounds silly, but you know, if you buy perfume in England and bring it back here, you can make some good money out of it. So I used to buy Chanel perfume, and you know, you buy it for a 100 ml bottle would cost I don't know what, $40, $50 in Australian money over in England, but you bring it back here and it's $250.
You see, the guy turned around and said to me, because I had, mind you, they were only the small bottles, well, glass size. I had probably about 6 of those bottles. I was right on the limit. Actually, no, I probably had more. I had probably about 12 of those bottles. And then and I had some blondes, the Pure Blondes. Pure Blonde is actually a beer here. It's a very nice beer, Rick. So that's where we're going to go, Pure Blonde. They're very nice beer. And,
no, he's actually talking about.
Yeah. It makes the ugly blondes look better. It makes the ugly blondes look better. Yeah, and I had 6 of those in, and I was right on the limit. But the guy at the customs that was there, because I always declare what I have in my bags, because I always bring Tim Tams, and I always bring candy over there for the kids and some of the grown-ups over there from Australia. You know, I've always got stuff in my bag, and it's like, I do the right thing, I declare it. It's when you declare things and whatnot, they leave you alone. You know, even if you do go a little bit over, they will leave you alone because you are doing things within the limit. The people that really get cheesed off about are the ones that don't declare things.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't declare things, and they'll say, "Oh, you got something here. Oh, what's this? Oh, look, you got an extra pack of, especially coming back to Australia. You got an extra pack of cigarettes. We're going to hit you for tax on that. We're going to fine you $200."
Actually, you know, the best thing I found when traveling is travel with kids, right?
Not anymore. Not anymore. No.
Really? When
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Because
we were able to get away with so much more because my daughter was in nappies, so all our hand luggage had nappies hanging out of it, right? Because you know it's a long flight from LA to here, 15 hours, and we had all these nappies hanging out here. What they didn't know was I had jeans and books, and I had about 100 kilos of hand luggage. But as they were walking around, they went, "Oh, nappies. Nah, you're fine." They went to the next lady and they went, "Oh, you're that much over. Right, you got to get rid of some of that and put it in the
No,
hole."
a lot of that's changed now. A lot of
Has
that's changed in our Greg. Because
Oh, bugger.
because
I don't
the
have
only
any
reason,
anymore. So
and
that
in a lot of countries they've actually changed that too, because what's been happening is they've been actually using families and kids as decoys to smuggle things in
yeah, I suppose.
and smuggle excess in. Like especially here in Sydney, they've caught that many, especially Asians and Middle Easterns, that actually come to Australia,
Yeah,
right,
all right.
with prohibited items in it, and they actually disguising them in the kids. Like they used to let them go through, but now it's like, no.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Yeah. Well, my daughter's grown up. So, oh well, she's married now, but yeah. So,
Well, see,
but, yeah.
I will declare everything. Even when I come home, I'll bring. If I can get up there. I don't know you guys heard of Tweetsy Railroad, Rick and Dave. Tweetsy Railroad down in
Say it
North
again?
Carolina. If you ever go there, you got to go to the fudge factory in there.
Okay.
The best fudge in the South, I reckon, or second best fudge in the South. Now, when I brought it over to Australia, we had peanut butter fudge, peanut fudge.
That sounds good.
Because it was peanuts and whatnot, we can't bring it into Australia. And I had all these questions and no one could answer it. So when I landed here, I declared it and I go, look, and I put it in a separate part of my bag and I go, look, I've got peanut butter fudge. No one can turn around and tell me what I can bring it in or not. The girl at customs gave me a fright. She says, well, you got anything to share? Because I want to try some too. I thought she was going to take it off me. But yeah.
Flies are fresh meat.
And there's another good place in Seneca in South Carolina in the Foothills Mountains near where I'm going to be living. I can't think of the name of the place now, but it's got an ice creamery and a restaurant right next to each other. It's on a corner, owned by one people. All the flavoured ice creams you can think of, and homemade fudge. And it's
Homemade fudge is awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I love homemade fudge. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no one's made good fudge since my sister Brenda passed away. Stepsister Brenda passed away, so I've got to go and buy it now. But that's why. Yeah, so
Yeah, nothing like having some flies in for lunch. You know, nice fresh meat.
fresh protein. Oh, that's what I want to ask you, Greg. Bats down your way. Have you guys had many bats down your way?
Bats?
This year?
What are they? No. No bats. Not
We used to
even.
get-
Normally we see lots of cockies, but even the cockies are not around much at the moment.
Same here. Something strange because the bats. I noticed it last year, but this, of course, we usually have bats this time of year because all the fruit and that coming up.
Yeah.
There's hardly any bats, but there's hardly any cockatoos. There's hardly any gangangs. Gangangs is a different type of cockatoo. They got a big rounded beak. There's a. Oh, so they've gone down where you are, southwest.
So where
So
are
that's
you,
all.
southwest?
He's down Colac way, Great Ashton
Oh,
Road.
Colac, yeah. Well, that's where I grew up. I spent half my life in Colac.
No, it's just weird because there's a lot of wildlife, but particularly bats and parrots. There's a lot of parrots that are not around as what we used to have for some reason.
Yeah, we used when we were in Narre Warren, we used to get parrots and lorikeets, and yeah, but I haven't seen any here. You're Warrnambool. Oh no, Warrnambool, yeah.
I know. I think it was about this time last year, or was it just before Christmas. We had a wheat train that ran away coming down the mountain, and he derailed, and I think half of the load of wheat was all over the road. So all the gangs, the cockatoos, the parrots have gone up there. Maybe they're sabotaging the track again. They realise they can get free food up there. Yeah, we had a nice runway down here last year where.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen many at all. But then again, of course, we're not allowed to travel, so.
Well, you can notice whether you got in the area or not just by looking at your back window or your front yard.
Yeah, well, there's nothing here, but yeah, we normally see lots of cockies and that sort of thing, but yeah, they're not around.
So how's your layout coming along, Dave? Done much on your layout lately?
No, I haven't gotten too much done. I've been kind of lazy. I need to do some wiring and stuff, so I'm kind of
Yeah, I'm gonna do
dreading it.
something.
Sometimes you go through that, though, don't you, Dave? You sort of get,
Yeah,
Well, I'll
you work so hard, and then you get to a point where you just need a break.
yeah.
Well, I'm just going back to basics with this small section at the moment, just showing the people the basics on wiring up the DCC, more for the NCE, because there's really not much there for just plain NCE components. So as I'm learning and whatnot, I'm just going straight to NCE without the JMRI, Rick, without relying on the computers. If you know what I mean, just going back to basics. So
I've gotten so much stuff lately. I have to work on putting it all in. Like I've been buying BD20s. I bought a Switch 8 and a button board, and I've been buying, stuff for that.
Well, that's up with me too. I only need another one,
Go back
2, 3, 4 BD20s
on the button board and the Switch 8.
There are many bits that.
Hey, if I all of a sudden drop off, I'm just letting you know my battery on this laptop.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Well, you take care. We'll probably see you in the morning anyway.
Yeah.
So your engages come together nicely, is it right, Rick?
Say that again?
Your end scale, the engage, that's going to be coming in together nicely soon, eh?
Oh yeah, it's. I'm not in any rush for it. I know Jerry's probably like tired of me being at his shop, but yeah, it's coming along. Hopefully, the next installment we should be done with the table portion of it. Hopefully, my next visit over there, and then we're going to get started on the actual layout, and you guys will see the layout print at that point. I'll flash up there, and I've already got all the track that I think I need. It's not going to be that. It's a real simple layout. There's no switches. It's just a showpiece that I can have sitting right there and watch trains run. Because right now, if I want to see my trains, I got to go in over here into the other room, and then that means I can't be here. So it'd be great if I could just sit here, be with you guys, and watch some trains running around the coffee table over here. So,
hey Rick, are you gonna put any cameras in the actual train room so you can be in here, watch trains on the camera?
Oh, I've got them. They're in there already. I've got 3 cameras in the ceiling up in the train room.
I want to put cameras around this layout so I can, switch cameras around as a train and follow it around.
It's great.
At first I tried doing IP cameras, but they were too the latency between what was showing on the screen and what was happening in actuality, there was too much of a lag. So then I went to USB cameras, and I was stringing USB cameras through the ceiling. Then found out that my computer didn't have enough power. Not that it didn't have enough power. The data that it was pushing through to get to the computer
Yeah.
It wasn't it was
Well, no, it is
overloading the
actually a
USB
power
circuit.
because no, there is actually a power issue with USBs as well. So you
Oh
actually
yes,
have to power them separately as well as the data from the USB.
correct. So I realized that at first I thought it was a power issue because I had one camera that kept flaking out. But it turned out it wasn't a power issue. It looked like it was a data issue. And so instead of running everything to a powered, what I was originally doing was running everything into the ceiling into a powered hub and then having one USB coming back to the PC. That wasn't working. So I had to actually run USB extension cables from each camera directly into the PC, and that seemed to solve the data issue. So
It sort
I
of
guess I
does,
kind of bottlenecked it.
it sort of does, but it sort of doesn't. So I've got USBs, and I struggle with power issues, but I've actually started powering them separately, and I've got this one that I bought from Amazon. This one here,
Uh-huh.
and it follows your face. It's also got a light on it, and it's powered separately. And I don't have any problems with this one. This one works really well. But one of the other ones, and I've just bought a what do you call it, an active USB lead because it was too far away. And that was the other thing, is that you find that the length of the USBs can often also cause a lot of big issues.
Yes. You can usually only get about 30 feet.
Well,
After 30
if
feet, you
that,
start to get a drop signal.
if that, some of them
Yeah.
will drop them a lot more. So I've got one that I'm using as a I've just got an active USB cable, and the one I'm using at the moment is a HDMI fixed lens.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it. It's variable, but it's not autofocus, and that's HDMI into USB, and that always works. Always works. But because it's powered separately, so it's got power into it, goes out HDMI, and then I use a HDMI like dongle, whatever you want to call it, into
Yeah.
USB. That works well. But the downside of that is that it's not autofocus.
Mm.
And then I've got my really good camera. So I've got more cameras than you poke a stick at, but I've got a professional video camera that I use the same thing, and that when I use that, it's good, but it's so heavy and so big. I normally use that for my videos.
Sure.
But yeah, so I'm just using mainly USBs, but I find sometimes OBS also struggles with using USBs.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that I find. It doesn't seem to be able to cope with too many USBs. Whereas you take OSB out, did I say OSB? OBS out of the equation, and it's not so bad. But yeah, that's what I've been struggling with. But I've got cameras in my layout, and I use a DVR, right? And then I come out of my DVR through a USB dongle. So I built them in when I started building the layout, and they're in the tunnels. I built them in, so they're actually fixed in.
Awesome.
But I don't always. I mean, I have them on a separate monitor, but I don't always put them in a live stream or a normal stream unless I'm trying to achieve something. But yeah, and I don't run my layout's too small to run cameras on.
Gotcha.
Because being N scales, it is, can be real tight in some places. But even passenger trains, I run passenger trains, and I've just put a bypass on my station. I found that some of my, not that I've got many, but some of my hoppers and other non-passenger trucks hit the station.
Oh, too wide of a turn?
No, it's in a straight. So I'm not sure why they hit the station, whereas the passenger trains don't. So I've just sort of put a bypass on because they don't really need to go through a station anyway. But anyway,
Sounds good.
I'm getting there slowly. It could be better, but given the limitation of size, it is what it is, You just got to make
Sure.
the best of your space. And that's like everybody, Maybe one day I'll get up. I've actually been playing with my N-scale moving bus.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've found is that I can't buy track for it anymore for whatever reason. So what I've been doing is I've been using Fowler track and modifying it.
Okay.
And I'm sort of getting there. It's taking a bit longer than I would like, but I'm getting there. And that's because it works on the same. My N scale works on a similar scale. Hang on, where are we? Similar scale to a Fella. It's just that the magnet is different on it. And where are we? Here we go. I'll show you. So I don't know. Oh, it's not gonna focus. But can you see?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it moving there.
See there? It's the magnet, right? So that's the bus. So whereas the Fella has like an angle down with the magnet on the end,
Right.
But this is a little bit more acceptable. Whereas the magnet on the end runs better. Whereas this one, because it's part of I don't know whether you can see it, but it's part of the steering mechanism, right?
Right.
So it's actually on the same level. So it's not as tolerant over Fella as it is over its own. Whereas the other one's tolerant, a Fella N scale is tolerant on both, but this one's not as tolerant. So I've been struggling, but I've got two pieces that I've got in, and I've got a third one that I'm working on. And it just takes time. So what I hope to do, hang on, I'll show you. Let me go to my OBS and change screens. Where are we? Let me go up. Come on. So if you can see, where are we? Up here. You can't see my mouse, but the high bit, it comes down into the base layout. That's the bit I've been working on. So right at the top of the layout there, where I am, I know I've cut myself off, but I've got a couple of pieces there, and I've got a T-piece because I couldn't get a T-piece. So I've been playing with that to get that working. And that's sort of, the idea is that I'll have one that will go right almost around the layout, so as I can run several different vehicles at the same time and have them sort of, going one way. So that's what I'm trying to do. And that's just been driving me insane. HO scale Fella are the same, yeah. Well, I used to have a HO, Ron, and I used to have a HO Fella system, but I've got a Tommy Tech N scale, but now they've merged with Fella, and you can't buy their track anymore. Their Tommy Tech track.
Does Feller have a solution for them, or they're absorbing them and shutting them out?
Well, that's what I'm not sure of. I really don't know that, Rick. I wish I could find out. I've been trying to figure out. Nobody wants to answer your question, but they both will run on each other.
What's the question? Sorry, guys, you had to step in the room. What was the question?
I'm talking about in-scale Fella and in-scale Tommy Tech.
Oh, the actual trains.
No, moving bus system or moving car system.
Well,
And
I can tell you this much: a lot of the fella stuff is on hold at the moment because of the pandemic.
yeah, but so Tommy Tech was on the hold before the pandemic.
Because there are systems slowly coming out, right? But they were working on this other system, the new DCC system that's coming out. There's a lot of stuff already out there for it.
Yeah, but
And it was supposed to be released.
Anthony Dodge's used the fella HO DCC system, and he can't get it to work.
Yeah, I think they did have a few little dramas with it. Because I've been looking into doing it, and I know they were having some dramas with the DCC system a few years back, and they briefly took it off the mark, and they just kept their normal DC fella stuff going, right? But everything was supposed to be sorted out for last year, but because of the pandemic and that hit, in a lot of the factories and their components and whatnot, they just haven't been able to get the stuff out. And that's going according to the bloke down here in up Creepy's Way that was actually telling me about it.
Right.
And he's the importer. He's the importer for it.
Okay, fair enough.
So there is a German guy that we'll actually talk to him. He knows more about it because I got him to making me up some RC cat loaders in 187.
Right.
See,
a lot of them go Magna Rail, and Magna Rail is really, really expensive.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah.
But they're the leading company though, right?
Yeah, but you know what, Rick, you can, and I'm about to try it. Although I'm still looking at it. You can actually get you have to pay $20, but you can get a 3D print file to actually print them.
Oh, nice.
Right, so you can print most of the Magna Rail stuff. So I'm actually looking at what you can't print and what you need to do, but I'm thinking maybe I might even do that for some of it. But at the moment, as I said, I'm where are we? Somewhere here. See, so you can see that.
Yeah.
That is a fella track.
Hang on, let me just bring you up. What?
Oh, hang on.
Yeah,
hang on, I'll change my view. Hang on. Oh, come on. When I can get my mouse to drag it down. So that's just fella track.
Yeah.
And what I've had to do, because hang on, where are we? Hang on, I'll get another piece. Hang on, I'll find somewhere. Here we go. Okay, this is an old piece of fella. And you have the hole in it for the metal. Well, it's not metal. The
wire. The guide wire.
There's a wire that goes through there. But what I find with the Tommy Tech is that you put it in and you're supposed to put this road surface on it. And when you do that, it won't run. So what I found is that if I put masking tape on it over the metal wire, and put 3 layers of masking tape and then paint it, which is what this one is, it will actually run. Whereas
nice.
if you use the fella stuff, which is what this one is, I've actually scraped it. I've started to I sand it back and then go back to basics, and that's part way through. But what I've done is I've scraped it all back and then I've taped it and then painted it again to see whether it's working. That seems to be working. So I've got 3 pieces now, and I found a way to join it to the Tommy Tech track. So the Tommy Tech track is that piece of Tommy Tech track, right? And you buy 4 pieces of that, and that's like about $40. It's seriously expensive. What? And it has the wire running down the center. You probably can't see it. They can't see it.
Yeah.
But it's so expensive. Seriously expensive.
You see what?
So if I turn that round there, you can see the metal wire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Running down the silver wire down the middle. So
Yep,
it's not
it's
very thick. And that's the Tommy Tech track. And that works fine, but it's smooth, whereas with the Fowler, the wire tends to stick up a little bit. And that's where it doesn't run properly. So by putting on the tape like this one and putting the tape on it, I've managed to get it to work.
So when I on my layout that I worked on before, that big one that you see in my start on the intro, I actually installed the Fowler car system on that. But I found their wire was so expensive. You know, when you buy it straight off them. But all it is a metal wire. So what I did was, I went to my craft shop.
Yep.
And got some craft wire. Same thickness.
Yeah, that'll work.
And it worked because all it's doing is just the magnet's just following that wire.
Yeah. But you see, these pieces here, right, the pieces I've got, right, and the wire come from my old layout.
Well, yeah, recycle.
Right, so I sold my HO when I downsized. And my mate Dave, and I've done one video with him, but my mate Dave doesn't want it. He's just into the trains and that. So he said, "Do you want your Fella stuff back?" And I said, "Well, if you don't want it." And so I've got all the Fella stuff back that I had. So I've actually got 2 coils of wire and all the old bits of track. So mainly curves, but I've got enough to actually probably hopefully finish my whole layout with having a moving bus on it. And then I went to one of the places, branch line, where I buy stuff, and I managed to buy. So that little car, right? That's about $180 these days, right? And that's a bus, right, with 2 batteries in it. They're about $180 here. From branch line, I managed to buy them for $35 each, and I've got 3 of them.
Wow.
Because they're not selling them anymore. They just stopped selling them because they couldn't sell them. So they were flogging them for $35. So I bought a few. I sold a couple and managed to buy a little bit more track, and I've kept a few, and I've got, I think, 3 or 4 of them. So I can have.
What's the run time on those batteries?
About 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Are they rechargeable, or you got to crack them open?
They're rechargeable.
No, these ones are not. I can't. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any of. You can get some that are rechargeable. These are just little button batteries, but there's nothing to stop you, sorting something out. But
with the fellow ones, you can actually get them recharged, and with the new ones, you can actually have them where they stopped on the magnet or whatnot, and you had like a charging center.
Yes. Yep.
Right. Where the actual while the vehicle is actually stopped in that spot, the batteries will actually charge up and give it a burst of power, so you can actually go continue running. I don't have it saved on my channel here. I will look them up on the other one, my old username. But there are some Fowler car systems that I looked at and saved, where it actually shows you that the buses or the trucks or cars will actually go into a hiding area.
Yep,
They'll
that's right.
stop
Yep.
and they'll recharge. Like, you know, that big train.
Thunderland.
Eh?
Thunderland.
Yeah, the one over in Munich.
Yes,
So
Thunderland.
they got a car system there too, and then the cars disappear and
Yep,
they stop at the charging station.
They started off with Fella, but they build their own now. But you can get
Well,
in.
when you got money like them, you can do whatever you want. But we're not like them.
No, I know, but you can get end scale ones now that are actually sizable in Fella. So you can buy the motors, and then it's like a skateboard, but you can actually size it to fit a chassis.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the way I'll be going. But for the moment, without any track, ain't going nowhere.
Okay, Randall. Yeah. Yeah. Take care, mate. You have a rest. I'm gonna have to call it quits
Randall.
shortly too, because I've got to cook up some tea and whatnot, and I want to make some phone calls because I had a phone call just a little while ago with somebody needs some stuff moved down to the south of the border. Not quite into Melbourne, thank God, but
right, Ron. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to call it quits. Yeah, it depends on how much you run and how much strain. I mean, if you got a flat layout where the vehicle's just going, or you know, you'll stop with the power electronics brick. While it's on the flat, it's not going to use much power. But once you start going up and down hills and whatnot, it's going to start chewing up power. I mean, if you've got lights,
they climb. Mine climbs very well. I was surprised at how well it climbs compared to some of the others.
I do have a book on how to on the Fella system, but that's going to come to a later date because I will want to put one on once I expand up behind me here.
Well, hopefully within the next little bit, I'll have mine running because I'm only short a little bit of track now, so I'm getting there. Yeah. And now I know the secret of getting the Fella working. I shouldn't be that far away from getting the whole thing working properly around the layout. So,
well, I'm just going to finish off this 4 foot.
Can't wait to see it.
What's that, Rick?
I said that's great. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just finishing that 4 foot section, and that's going to be the end of me for a while with construction wise. Maybe doing a few little tidy ups here and there, but yeah. After 24th, there'll be 2 months without me allowed to use my right hand. So,
well, hopefully I finished all my hospital stuff. I don't know. I'll find out this week when I talk to the oncologist, but hopefully.
Yeah, and once the bandage comes off, I've got to pray out about a month, and then I'll be going to work. So, can't wait to get back to work. I know it sounds stupid, but I'm getting sick of being stuck at home.
Well, I've sort of got used to it because I've had to.
Well, I've been forced to, and it's not because of COVID.
I was forced to too. I just couldn't work. My chronic fatigue was just so bad that who's going to employ somebody who you say, oh, go and fix that computer over there, and I get over there and it might be, a hard drive. I'll get over there and go, oh, what am I supposed to be doing? Because you have memory. No, but you have memory fogging, and there's a whole lot of range of stuff that you have with your chronic fatigue, and I have to sleep every so often, and you can't say to the boss, oh, sorry, got to have a sleep now. So nobody wanted to employ me.
Sure, I can do that. I can do that by job. It's like, look, guys, I'm getting a bit tired. I'm going to pull over and go to bed.
Yeah, well,
and they can't say no. They can't say no to it. If they say no, and I have an accident and
I know, but
somebody,
that's
goes back
driving. Yeah. See, in IT, you can't do that because, it doesn't work that way.
Well, my brother found that out in the hard way when he got busted sleeping on the job, eh?
Yeah, well, I got one that came with the RC stuff.
All right, guys. I am going to call it quits. Rick, you take care of yourself.
Yeah,
buddy.
you too, Rick. Good chatting with you, Rick.
Always, always.
And all your viewers, Ron, Steve, Mel, who else we've got? Randall's buggered off. Sparky's buggered off.
I'll find you on Facebook, Steve. Okay.
Southwest Molly, if you're still there, yeah, you take care of yourself too.
Yep. Mel's.
I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing my evening night chat because we're still expecting some big storms tonight, so this will make up for tonight's stream. Yeah, we're expecting some bad storms.
Yep.
You take care of yourself, Greg, and we'll
you too,
catch you sometime during the week. I might not be on Sidetrack Sunday because I've got double appointments at that time. So
yeah, I'll be on Sidetrack Sunday, but I won't be on Tuesday. So that's Tom and Heath, because I'll be at the doctor's.
Mate, I told you I've got a good axe over here, or I've got a guillotine. I can make one up.
Hey, you want to see the holes in me now? Look on my sprinkler system. I've got so many holes in me.
Mate, all you need is an axe. Okay, Reese,
I've had four holes in me guts in the last month, and I don't know how many I've had in my arm from injections and blood tests, and so it's literally a sprinkler system.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, guys. So anyway, I'll put the broadcast. I'll do a video of how the Ballasting turned out in the morning, because it will get its colour back by tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, and everybody can actually see that.
Yep.
Sounds good.
And yeah. All right, guys. Take care. Have fun.
Guys, see you later. Yep.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Be good.
Good morning.
Yep. Good morning.
All
right. See ya.
Yep.
Yeah.